Hi friends, welcome. Pull up a chair, grab a project, and let's visit for a little bit. Well, tomorrow is the 17th, and that is the anniversary date of when I had my first stroke. So today I wanted to do a little bit of different video and just share some stroke awareness and share my story of what happened to me. It may not be, like typical or something. And so I think it's just good to hear different stories about what happened to different people. So, for stroke awareness, because I think not everyone has the same exact symptoms and things can happen differently. So, what happened to me was on the October the 17th of last year, I woke up that morning about 6 a.m. and I had a headache. But, that happens sometimes. So that wasn't really like alarming or anything like that. And I got up and I went to the restroom and I came back through the house and Jody was getting dressed for work. And I told him, I said, I don't feel so good. And he said, well, go back to bed. There's no reason you have to be up. Go lay back down, get you some more sleep. So I talked to him for a minute and I was like, well, that sounds like a good idea. So I'm going to go lay down. So I lay down and he went on to work. And then I slept a couple of hours. And when I woke up, I immediately knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. Like, stroke did not cross my mind. But this side of my face was kind of numb feeling and tingly. And it was just like this very strong gravity pull, like just pulling my face down. And so when I woke up and I realized, that, something's wrong with my face here. Because, it was like very strong. And I thought, okay, was I sleeping on my face? Is my face asleep? You know how like sometimes your arm or whatever goes to sleep, like this stays asleep. But, like if you sit on your leg or something or your foot, how would it go to sleep? It was, like that, but it was a little extra. I don't know how to explain it really, but anyway, so I thought, did I sleep on my face wrong or something? I was just like, I didn't know what was wrong, so I was just trying to come up with an explanation. And so I got on up and I went to the restroom and I looked in the mirror and I was just like, oh my gosh. It was like startling the way it was just pulled down so badly, and like I couldn't move that side of my face, and when I'd smile it didn't move. And I was just like, oh, something's wrong. I don't know what's going on. So I immediately just tried to call Jody, and Elijah was here and he was up, and I don't know if I said anything to him or not. I don't know. I don't really know if I said anything to him, but he was in there when I was on the phone with Jody. And I was trying to tell Jody that something was wrong, but the words were just not coming out correctly. It was coming out all jumbled up and not understandable. He could not understand me. And he's asking me questions, and I'm just like saying, something's wrong, something's wrong. And so he just hung up on me and called Elijah. And Elijah was telling me what my face looked like and that he couldn't understand me talking. And Jody, he works in the medical field, and so he thought stroke. I never thought stroke. Even when I couldn't talk and I saw my face, I didn't think stroke. And so he told Elijah to get me dressed, get shoes on me, and be ready when he pulled up, and told him some things to gather me up to take to the hospital. So Elijah did that, and when Jody drove up, Elijah helped me get out there and get in the truck, and me and Jody went on to the hospital. And Jody works like 45 minutes away from home, but he made it home in 20 minutes tops. And so we rushed to the hospital, and then when we went in, it was obvious that something was going on with me because my face, and I couldn't talk. Well, I was talking better at that point. It was just really slurred, but I was forming words. So they just took me straight on back and put me on a stretcher or gurney or whatever you call it. And we're going down the hall headed to CAT scan, but I didn't really know where we were headed. and they're putting in an IV, giving me medicine, giving me some water to drink for the medicine they had just gave me my mouth. And, you know, I couldn't drink the water. It just come right back out all over me. And they got me in for a CAT scan and did that. And this happened on the left side of my body. So there was a spot on the right side in my head. And so they did another CAT scan. Like after they looked at that one, they did another one focusing on that area to see what was going on. And they were having me to do all these different little tests and testing my arms and legs because they were really weak. And they had me do things like, you know, track my eyes with their fingers and stuff like that, which I think I was doing that fine. But my speech was really slurred and my face, and yeah, I was just very, very weak. And so they admitted me and then run more tests and then did like another CAT scan. I think they ended up doing 3 CAT scans, one with a contrasting dye. And they wanted to do an MRI, but when I got down there, they wanted me to put on that cage thing on my face and go up in that tube. I panicked. I panicked. And so I couldn't do it. So I needed an open air MRI, which we did not have here locally. But then, you know, they finally determined that I did have a stroke at some point. I don't know. The neurologist come around and told me that it was a stroke and that me having lupus raised my chances of having strokes. And no one had told me that before. So, anyway, I had to see a speech therapist and, I don't know, several different doctors. I can't remember everybody. But I was in the hospital 3 or 4 days, and then I went home. And my face did get better. Like each day it was getting a little better until it was pretty good. So sometimes at night, late at night, when I'm really tired or when I'm just not feeling good at all, my face droops a little bit. Not really bad. And I can't move that side of my face. Of course, you can see that I can smile over there. But at night, it'll kind of just droop just a little, like I'm tired or something. So that was my first experience with a stroke. And then later on, I did have another experience where something like that was happening again with that side of my face. And they considered it another mini stroke, is what they just call it. And so I've had that happen over there like 3 times. And then this past June, I had it to happen on this side of my face, but not really so much with the face. It's my chin, from this side of my chin and lip, like down the middle of my lip and chin to the corner of my mouth right here. This whole area right here is just numb. It's numb and tingly. And it stayed that way. It never got better. And then I do drool on this side. Sometimes it's worse. Sometimes it's not as bad. I think when I'm really tired, I drool a lot more. But I ended up having to knit myself some drool cloths. I feel like, you know, a baby with a burp cloth. But anyway, I'm doing fine though. I'm on medications, and I did get a MRI done, and it showed some narrowing of arteries in my head. And so we talked about different options, and I opted to take the medication and go that route. And so I haven't had any more episodes since I started that medication. So that's good. And I think normally they put someone with strokes, they might put them on a cholesterol medication, but my cholesterol was very good. And so they didn't want to put me on that medication for that. They just put me on this. It's not aspirin, because I was already on aspirin, but they took me off of that and put me on something else. And I can't even think of the name of it. I take it twice a day, but it's kind of like a It's a big old huge capsule, but I think it's kind of like a aspirin, but it's a slow dissolving, maybe. I don't know. It's supposed to last longer or something like that. But anyway, I take that twice a day, and I haven't had any more episodes since I've been on that medication. So that's good. And I'm glad to just treat it with medication and not, do anything very invasive. So anyway, I just wanted to do this video for stroke awareness, just to share my story, and that just so you'll know that if you're with someone and they start, acting a little strange, that it might click that they're having a stroke. And also, if you yourself experience any of episodes, and you can look up stroke awareness and read all the symptoms that go along with stroke. I think there's a whole list, and like I said, I don't think I experienced the whole list. I had a headache. I was kind of confused. I tried to talk and it didn't come out and make sense. And my face was numb and drooping, and then my left arm and leg was very, very weak and kind of heavy feeling. But I'm already weak in my left arm and hand anyway. So it was even extra weak, I guess you would say. But, and then I think, that's about all the symptoms that I had. I think I'm not sure if I'm leaving anything off. But anyway, just to bring a little stroke awareness and, hope that it can save someone. I think that we got to the hospital very, very quick. It did take Jody about 20 minutes to get home, but it took us like 5 minutes to get to the hospital from our home. And so if I had called an ambulance, it would have took them longer to get to us than it took for us to get there. And so I think getting to the hospital quickly and getting the medications, and I'm not sure even exactly what all medications they gave me. They gave me something in my mouth, and they were giving me IV and putting things in the IV, like as we were going down the hallway to get a CAT scan. They were working fast. And so I think, I'm getting the medical treatment and whatever medications they gave me quickly is probably helped me a lot. It helped me recover and not have such long-lasting symptoms or whatever I'm trying to say. I wish I could blame the memory thing, not remembering words and things like that. I wish I could blame that on the stroke, but the truth is I was like that before. So anyway, this is my stroke awareness video, and it got a little longer than I expected, but thanks for hanging with me and just hearing my story and bringing some awareness out to the world. Thank you, and I'll see you all soon.